Last session we had an equal parenting bill called House Bill 2363. It was introduced by Gilbert Pena. He didn't win re-election, but his chief of staff is here today, Maricela DeLeon, and she would like to speak, so let's yield our attention.
First of all, I want to say I want to applaud each and every one of you for being here this afternoon. When it comes to advocating for particular issues, it's very hard to have a group of those who are going to be directly impacted by legislation to come and present their position here at the state capitol. So one, I want to applaud you on that effort. I know there are many at home who have wished they could have been here, but could not come up with the means to be here today. I was chief of staff for Representative Gilbert Pena last session, and he had authored House Bill 2363, which would have put in equal parenting order in the family code. To me personally, it resonated very loudly with me, not as a parent, but as an aunt. My brother and his ex-wife were going through a divorce, and at a very young age, I had to live without my oldest brother. He had to move to Idaho because that was where his wife was from, and he spent the rest of his years there fighting for equal custody for his son. The family had to grow without him. It caused a lot of hardship emotionally for us because we literally grew apart. But my brother always said he had to be there for a purpose. His purpose was to let his son know that he fought for him, so that when he grew older, his son knew that his presence wasn't easy, and it was something that he fought for. And so when I took on this legislation with my former boss, it was very important for him to ensure that parents shared equally in their child. He sat on the Juvenile Justice and Family Issues, the same committee that this bill is being implemented into, is being heard in. I know that there's a scheduled hearing for it. No date has been set. But on my experience of working here in the Texas House, I know how important it is to get your message across. And on a matter such as this that is very complex, very emotional, because everyone has something at stake, I strongly believe that the best interest of the child is by the parents. The parents should be able to make that decision. And when parents enter equally into an agreement, it's going to prove successful for that child. However, the courts have made it very difficult for many of you. And I've seen it through my friends, my family, and how hard that process can be. So HB 453 is definitely a matter that has to be addressed by the legislature. It is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. However, I have heard some Democrats say that this is a method for parents to get away from child support. And I strongly believe that that is not the issue. The judge, at the end of the day, when he's hearing he's hearing your issues in the courtroom, he is deciding what is in the best interest of the child. The judge has the last say at the end of the day. I've even heard of two couples saying they've entered into an agreement, but the judge felt that that was not in the best interest of the child. And he went on and he placed his own order for that family, which caused a lot of issues for the child. So when we speak of equal parenting and parental equality and against parental alienation, the members of this House need to really consider everything that is at stake. We hear of truancy laws and the costs associated with truancy. We hear about our foster care system, how much money we have failed to put into that system. We hear about the many single mothers who are very young. We hear about children who are on substance abuse. All of those are very relative to each other because there's no healthy foundation at home. And I strongly believe when two parents come together and agree that this is how they're going to parent their child, it's great. But when a judge is going to make that decision, he should definitely consider an equal parenting order against any standard possession or any extended standard possession orders. I do have a relative of mine who's here today who will speak on her particular issue, which is very unique, that at times we wish that maybe a lot of people should enter into those types of agreements. And some would say that's in a utopia. But I strongly believe when you communicate with each other, you will see at the end of the day it's going to be the best result and solution in the end. So I want to say thank you, everyone that is here. I am with you and I stand with you, and I will try to do my very best to ensure that your message gets across to the members of the legislature. Thank you.